for cross-contamination. Even gloves from patient to patient. Sometimes we have two-bedded rooms. They want to make sure that those rooms do not have anything left behind.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned about gloves, Dion. At my facility, there was always a bad habit about, people just taking off gloves like in the elevator, and they would stuff them behind the handrails, things like that. And I'm not going to say it's totally gone away, but I definitely have not seen it as rampant as it used to be. So, if that's a step of consideration towards what we have to deal with, then that's warmly welcomed in my opinion.
How about you, Rusty?
No, I agree. You know what's crazy? I agree with you. Everybody now has the same mindset. Dion, you're right. Everybody's picking stuff up from the floor. If you guys have the same experience, we were the only ones, not only ones, but we were the ones that were chartered to walk around the hallways. And if you see something, pick it up. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's has a sense of togetherness. And picking up gloves, picking up a little piece of paper on the floor. People are. It's an amazing feat that something this big can bring us all together, where we need to be, and I hope that stays and COVID goes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hope it stays and COVID goes.
Yeah.
So this is my big question. We are coming to an end of this podcast, and are we ready for the southern COVID states to now bring all of this stuff back up north? Are we prepared?
That's a good question, Dion, man. It's crazy because we during this pandemic, the last 3 weeks we've had 0 new cases. We had maybe 1 new case during the whole week. Today of all days, we're there in our director's huddle, and our senior leader, CEO, says we had 9 new cases today, and we all looked worried.
Wow.
We all looked worried because you're right, Dion. They're coming from the West Coast. They're coming here in the southern districts and coming here and saying, "Hey, we want to come back home," and it's coming back. And we're at this point where it's like, wow, should we start ramping up? Should we ramp up harder? And it's one of those things, man. I think now we're prepared. We had to get hit hard to learn a lesson. But like I said, people said wave 2. I don't think we're done on wave 1. I think we're still to the latter end, and unfortunately, the South and the West Coast, things weren't done the right way. Maybe, I have no idea, but it's coming to us now. People in New York and New Jersey and the East Coast are kind of going to get affected by it, unfortunately. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a hard answer.
It's sad because I think many of us have not had enough time to fully recover yet, because we went from all COVID positive census, a high census of those patients expiring across New York and New York City and the eastern eastern part of New York especially, and I think that we all know it possibly could return, and to hear that you have that many new cases in one day, it's not shocking, but it's very sad to hear that. And I think that many of us have not even had time to rewrite policies or add COVID-19 or coronavirus specifics to some of our policies and practices. So we're trying to really do that now where I am in my organization, and we're trying to mentally, physically, and our infrastructure prepare for continuation of resurgence, as people are calling it, and possibly maybe even a second wave of the pandemic. And I hope that a vaccine comes very soon.
I think what we're doing at my hospital is now creating a training program, a day of renewal training program for everyone to pass through, and including a COVID piece in that training program, because we must be ready. It's coming, and whether it comes not as heavy or lighter, it's coming back, because there are too many southern states affected, and not minimally greatly affected for us not to have some sort of reinsurgence of this COVID.
And
So Jeff,
the unfortunate thing, Dion, before we move on, the unfortunate thing is, I don't know if Rusty and Joseph or Jeff and you are experiencing this, but we are still having delivery and service disruptions. So it's still very difficult to get. We use a Clorox product. It's difficult to get that in. We are running short on trash bags of all things now. So it's very interesting how this pursues and how other states are having a surge. It's very interesting to see if the supply chain can keep up with us, and what are we doing to prepare for not having enough of these things.
well, I think what's great about our previous podcast, and we talked about some of the things that Jeff is doing as his organization with the alternative cleaning items, which is very good, and hopefully will be very useful if this happens again. Jeff, you were saying something?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with, well, I appreciate the callback to that, Dion, because, like I said, we definitely need to find backups we can access quickly, because everything that Liz talked about is absolutely correct. I mean, we use a very specific product line in our organization. We utilize the Clorox products as well. But think about how many other hospital systems use that as well. The supply chain is definitely getting beaten up, and we can't afford to run out. And that what Liz said about, we're running out of trash bags now. I mean, that's like a bare necessity that all EVS departments need. And how do you respond to that when you are running low on trash bags, when you're not getting your orders in time? You call your suppliers and they say, hey, the manufacturers, they're behind, and you don't have a viable alternative. And that's really where, you almost need to have like product B, product C, product D as your fallback methods. That's really what all facilities should be really looking at, because that supply chain can be disrupted for a very long time, and it will take them a while to get caught back up.
Yes. So thank you guys for joining us here in Clean and Comfort. So hopefully all of you can join us on another podcast. And thank you again for joining Clean and Comfort.
Thank you.